So, per usual, when I got the verse that I was supposed to talk about, God had already been doing something in my heart and in my life concerning that verse. So, it was very cool to get the verse and to be able to talk about it. The verse is Psalms 43:5. Why are you downcast, O my soul, and why are you in turmoil within me? Hope in God, for I shall again praise him, my salvation and my God. So, this past week we were at family camp, and the speaker talked about there's an emphasis on the fact that God is forever at work and he has good plans. Our perspective is key. We are tempted to always focus on the brokenness of the world, especially today and in today's day and age. But the problem is we pass this dread on to our next generation. So our perspective matters. The speaker gave an example of how his daughter, who is a young adult, she was hearing planes flying overhead, and she told her dad, she's like, whenever I hear planes, I think, oh, this is it. This is when the bombs are going to drop, and life is terrible, and it's all over. And he was thinking about that when the he heard a sermon preached where the pastor was talking about the Christians in the Middle East, when they hear that the planes are flying over and literally bombs are dropping, their perspective is God is going to do something great. And because they know that God is always working, that their hope is in God. And yes, they live in a broken world, but it's a beautiful world that God created, that he is working in to bring people to the knowledge of him. They know that God is going to do great things in the midst of the chaos. And that's a challenging perspective, but it's biblical to not look like the rest of the world does that doesn't have Christ, to look at the world and be like, oh, it's a dumpster fire and it's always going to be a dumpster fire and it's just going to get worse. And we're just trying to avoid getting burned in this whole situation. We're to look for the good that God is doing because, like the speaker talked about before, God is forever at work and he has good plans. We are to look for the good that God is doing, from the smallest beauty in creation to appreciating the green on the trees or a butterfly flying around, like taking the time and appreciating the good things. So that's the little thing, to the big ways God is working in the lives of our own lives, but in the lives of people around us, and how we see God working the plans together for good, for him to come, for people to come to know him. So this is not looking at the world through rose-colored glasses, that everything's wonderful, that everything's good, everything's on track for what we want it to be, because that's not how it is, and that's not what God is asking for us. Um, Not the perspective God is asking for us to have. We are to see the brokenness but yet recognize the beauty, because our world is beautiful, but it is broken. So our hope and confidence isn't in peace or perfect situations. It is in God, our wonderful and loving creator. So going back to the verse, why are you downcast, O my soul? Why are you in turmoil within me? Our hope is in God, and we shall again praise him, our salvation and our God. That is what we need to be focusing on. God and his plans and his work and the hope that is in him, as opposed to how terrible we see other things going on, but looking for God in all situations.